Hello, Socom enthusiasts. Welcome back to our channel today. We're diving into the latest gaming rumor that's been making waves, involving the legendary Socom series. Our source is none other than Colin Moriarty, a well-known figure in the gaming world. He's dropped a bombshell by confirming that there was a plan for a Socom 5 in the pipeline following the release of Unit 13. This ambitious project seemed to be on track, but sadly, it never made it to the shelves due to some significant hurdles. Firstly, the launch of Socom 4 was less than stellar, and secondly, there was a PSN outage that didn't help matters. Add to this Zipper Interactive's ambitious but lackluster game, and PlayStation decided to shut down the studio. This news comes hot on the heels of another Socom rumor regarding Socom 111. It's interesting how these two rumors are intertwined. This news source comes from Colin Moriarty's podcast, Sacred Symbols. He was once with IGN and has a solid reputation in the industry, so it's unlikely this is fake news. Still, I would advise to take it with a grain of salt until we find solid proof. So what do we make of all this? It seems there were plans for another Socom game after Unit 13, but sadly, due to certain events, it didn't materialize. Keep an eye out for more updates on this intriguing subject. Thanks for watching. If you found this video interesting and want to stay updated on more gaming rumors and news, hit that like button, follow and subscribe. Until next time, remember, it's all things gaming. Please stay tuned for the source of the rumor regarding Socom 5.
PlayStation 2 and PlayStation 3 gamers well remember a studio that was long in Sony's orbit, a team, in fact, which it eventually purchased outright, Zipper Interactive. Zipper was a Washington state-based developer with deep PC roots going back to the mid-90s. In fact, they're the team behind 1999's popular MechWarrior 3 and made the first Crimson Skies video game at the turn of the century. But by 2002, they were firmly in PlayStation's grasp, releasing the ever-important tactical third-person shooter Socom U.S. Navy SEALs on PlayStation 2 that year. They followed it up with two even better-regarded games in 2003 and 2005 with Socom 2 and Socom 3, respectively. These are online-centric games, and remember, unlike Dreamcast and the original Xbox, PlayStation 2 initially came toting no inherent online functionality. A prospective player on the proto-PSN therefore had to buy a separate network adapter that could be connected to either a phone line or an Ethernet cable, and it wasn't until PSP and later PS3, and of course the PS2 second edition, that baked in hardware-level online functionality, and that was the thing at PlayStation. PSN didn't exist at that time, though. In other words, Zipper's work on Socom was vital in getting PlayStation's foot in the door on the line, such that by 2006, Sony purchased the team outright, split the Socom IP between them and external Canadian team Slant 6, and ultimately dispatched Zipper on 2010's failed PS3 exclusive FPS Mag, and then 2011's ill-fated Socom 4, an online-only game released onto PlayStation 3 the day before the PSN would be hacked and go down for well over a month. Though Zipper did get the awesome Vita launch-era game Unit 13 out the door in 2012, it was shortly thereafter closed down. Now, this podcast can confirm that early work on what would have been Socom 5 on PlayStation 4 was happening at Zipper when they closed, because I know someone in particular who was working on it. But what would have been Socom 5? That project obviously never came close to being real, and Socom has been dormant ever since. With that long runway now established, here's the news. The sometimes off-base but typically reliable Games Leak subreddit made an interesting discovery in the form of a game potentially called Socom 111, as in Socom with 3 1s next to it. This specifically comes from the resume of a now-deceased actor named David Veitch, who passed away in early 2022, but who in his resume clearly has a Sony-driven motion capture project listed called Socom 111 or maybe 111. In fact, it's his only mocap credit, and Sony is blatantly affixed to this unknown project by name. So what is this exactly? We have long postulated on this show that a Socom comeback wouldn't only be cool, but sensible, especially considering the long-term success of powerhouses like Rainbow Six Siege, combined with Socom's strong heritage. And though Socom 5 on PS4 never got off the ground, Sony retains the IP, and it seems pretty obvious based on this one listing that they were at least pre-producing something. Some have also speculated that Veitch was actually listing Socom 3 as in 3 1s, supposed to be Roman numerals, the Roman numeral I's, but that seems unlikely. While Socom 3 did indeed utilize motion capture in development, Veitch isn't listed in the game's credits, nor on IMDb, where Socom 3 capture actors are named. Likewise, while Socom 2 did use the Roman numeral style numbering, Socom 3 didn't. Either way, it's unlikely a grown literate man would write 3 1s for the Roman numeral 3. But considering Veitch has been dead for more than 2 years now, and nothing has come from this project as far as we can tell, it's likely this was a once explored option that's gone nowhere. Mr. Worry wrote in and said, "Hey, CDC, I guess it's that time of the year again. Rumors are again circulating about a new Socom game. The source of the potential leak? Oh, just a dead guy's LinkedIn who died 2 years ago. I don't understand how this was a leak or even newsworthy of spreading. Also, how has it been 2 generations now without Socom? Does Sony hate money? You don't understand how this isn't... Really? There's like a